pretty much is like why I love the platform because honestly, I didn't I have not seen one dental hygiene platform for males at all. Like anywhere. It don't matter where you look on Instagram, Facebook. So when I came across that, I was like, finally, very glad to see that because I feel like it's gonna make more men, you know what I'm saying, more comfortable. It's giving all of us a platform to come to, like we have our own space.
Yo, good to connect with you, man.
You too.
Let's get into it, brother. Um, I'm super appreciative for you reaching out and just supporting the content on the YouTube channel. So tell me about how I can help you, man. Like I told you, I'm here to mentor, offer you any advice or whatever you need.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I'll start off with school first since I'm finna start there. That's the most important part. Pretty much it's like study habits, like habits that you feel would probably help me from between classes and stuff, time management wise and everything.
Yeah. So give me some. Let's go through a couple other questions before we get into those things. So
Okay.
one, you're in a hygiene program currently, right? Okay. Not in the prerequisites. You're actually in the
Yeah,
program now.
I actually start next week.
Okay, that's exciting, man. That's
Yeah.
that's exciting. So, how did you come across my channel though? What were you?
It was actually randomly because I was on YouTube checking out pretty much like temp hygiene,
Mhm.
like pretty much seeing any videos I could find on like the pros, the cons, how it works and everything. Pretty much just on YouTube, just gathering information, just random knowledge. And it was like it wasn't really too many videos because I guess people really don't make videos about that. I guess it's not really out there or important to everybody. But it was important to me because I'm not trying to work at one select office every day. I'd rather work when I want, have days off, that kind of stuff. So I came across your video actually, and I watched the whole thing, and it had a lot of good information and a lot.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that, man. Um, so you're in a hygiene program. You're starting next week. That's exciting. Um, Bro, I remember when I first started, I was super excited. I was excited when I got my letter saying that I was in the program. So I was ready, and I had started at my school as a assistant first. I came there to do hygiene, and they kind of like veered me. You know what I'm saying? They were like, the hygiene is really challenging. It's very competitive. Maybe you should try. They kind of veered me that direction. And then plus, my goal was to become a dentist. So they were like, dental assisting will probably be better for you because you work with the dentist. Um, but I learned real quick, assisting is not for me. It's not. So I applied at the next round of acceptance. I applied to the hygiene program at the school and I got in. Um, but yeah, go ahead. So you can go ahead and ask specific questions, and we can just. I mean, it's conversational, bro. We can just chat.
So as far as yeah, just school wise, like next week I have two classes this summer. I got preventative hygiene care and anatomy, embryology, and histology. So
Hmm.
I'm being
Uh,
told the anatomy one is probably gonna be the tougher one of the two. So
yeah. But are you into science? Do
yeah,
you
I
like
mean,
science?
yeah, I do.
Okay. So for me, anatomy, now it's always dependent because of the teacher you have. I had a really passionate anatomy teacher. Um, so he made it enjoyable. He used to make it kind of like, well, I used to feel like he was preaching up there when he was talking. Um, but as far as like preparation for it, man, I would just say, so one thing to learn about hygiene is that a lot of the courses are going to be repetitive in a sense. They're going to all compound on each other. So when you take this class, you should take a part two to this class, right? Which would be the same information, but gone deeper. So, and that's kind of how the hygiene curriculum goes throughout the program. Everything compounds on the next topic. So you'll always kind of be hitting hitting things more than once. You're in a traditional college? What's the school? What's
It's
the term?
it's a community college, Temple College.
Okay, so you guys' terms is what, 3 months long or what? How does that work?
So it's summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, and then graduate in spring.
Okay. So I went to a non-traditional college where our terms were like 6 weeks and we changed classes. So it was like a lot of information really fast. But if you guys are getting more time with the information, that's even better. Uh, so as far as like study habits go, I would say, have you learned how you learn?
Yeah, I know how I learn,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a whole different
It's
ballgame.
different,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure I have to switch some stuff up. So
yeah. So for me, I went through a lot of different phases of trying to figure out how to retain information, how to be prepared for tests, and everybody is different. We had certain people in our class who like to highlight every single thing because there's a lot of information that they're going to give, and all of it is important. Everything is important. It's not like, oh, you don't got to worry about that. Just know this. Like almost everything is important. But what I would say, bro, is when you're in these courses, just relax and retain. Okay. Don't stress yourself out about like learning the material and knowing it as soon as they spit it out their mouth. You have to give yourself time to digest it, right? Take the test, do the study guides, do the worksheets. I mean, do your homework and stuff like that. Everything, if you just dive into understanding the material, it will be super easy. So that was the thing. Like I'm kind of jumping the gun here a little bit, but when you get all of this information, you're gonna need on the boards, right? When I got to the boards, like everybody else, I was stressed out. Like, oh my God, this is 2.5 years of information, and I have to remember everything and take this test. So I was worried about it. But when I just relaxed and I said, you know what, I either know it or I don't, and I understood everything. I knew when we went through embryology and histology and all that stuff like that. I know the process of an embryo being implanted into, the I can't remember the name right now, but I remember the implantation phase and the different steps that it went through as it grew, and then once the body part started developing, like I can visualize it in my mind, right? So I know it. So when I see the words, it's just connecting the dots. When I see the questions, you know what I'm saying? Because it's there. Because we've been doing this for a long time and a lot. My life was consumed by my hygiene, coursework. So I think you'll be good, man. I think you'll be good as long as you come into it with the mindset, and you got support. You got support. You got me. You got the whole Prophy Kings community. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll still keep putting out YouTube videos, so you'll have that for resources. Um, but yeah, man, I'm really excited about this for you.
yeah, I'm ready to start because I've been trying to do it for about 2 years now. I applied in 2018. Um, got rejected. I only applied to two schools though, because I'm out here in Texas. So, um,
Where at in Texas?
2019. Yeah, so I'm
Where?
2019. I'm in the Temple area.
Where's
So
that? How close
like
is that to Dallas or San Antonio? That's what I'm
Austin, Austin.
Austin, Texas. Okay. Gotcha.
So next year after that, I applied to like six. I got like an alternate to one, and then got rejected for the others. But I mean, grades played part too, so I understood. But then this last go around, I had all A's, one B, so I was like, can't nobody say no now. And then I got in, so I applied to about, I think Texas only has about like 15 to 18, and I got into about like 10 or 11. So I was just choosing at that point. But
Nice.
I'm closer to home, so I can stay at the house and save on rent and all that. So
That's a smart move because hygiene school will be very demanding on your time, and it'll be pretty hard to work, especially when you have class work, you have regular, classes, and then you have clinic that you have to balance with it, or you're seeing patients, So that's really good that you're doing that. That was the same advice I gave to my little sister. I told her, I said, stay home. My little sister's a hygienist too. I told her, I said, stay home with mom, and just so you don't have to worry and stress about paying bills. Because that was the biggest thing. Somebody actually asked. I was going through some of the comments on the YouTube channel, and somebody asked about that, and that was like, what was the hardest thing about hygiene school? And for me, it was balancing my life, like my real world life, with school. That was the hardest thing. School wasn't. wasn't really hard. It was trying to fit school into life, trying to study and, have to work. And then at the time I was married and I had kids and, what I'm saying, just trying to balance everything. And then when we went through our separation and divorce, and then I ended up getting back more social, started dating a little bit, and then it was just hard balancing, but if you be back at home and you don't have to stress out about keep your stress outside of school as minimal as possible and just focus on school. And it's not that long. It's not that long.
Yeah, they say, you know what I'm saying, you excited to start, but next thing you know, you already at graduation, like where's the time gone? So
Yep. It will. I'm gonna tell you like this. During the process, it's gonna take forever. But when you get to the end, you're gonna be like, dang, that wasn't that bad. Because you're gonna be stressed. It's just what makes it feel like a lot and makes it feel long is all the stress, right? Because you'll have tests, you'll have projects, you'll have the fact that once you get into clinic, now you have to learn these new skills, right? With these tools and these instruments, you have to learn how to do them efficiently, and then you have to learn it pretty quickly because you're going to be seeing patients, so you don't want to be lagging behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I don't really know where do I put this instrument. That like you want to be on it, so that way when it's time to see patients, you're ready to see patients. Because at first you're going to be super slow, and then you're going to have requirements that you have to meet for the completion of patients, right? And you're still slow, but you only got a certain amount of clinic days to finish patients, so it's like a lot of stress, you know. Then you have to prove that you've mastered certain skills and things like that. But this is a really good thing because this mentor. That's why I'm so excited about this mentorship and helping you guys, because I think that it could be tremendously beneficial for you to have somebody who is a practicing hygienist and has been in your shoes and can help you, like with quick ways to learn things that would take you longer to comprehend on your own. You know what I mean? So make sure you use Prophy King's mentorship. Uh, Use it up, bro. It's here. It's free. It's for you.
yeah, I definitely will for sure. For sure. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's all I'm where I'm supposed to be at. You know, I ain't cross you for no reason. So that's how I look at things.
Yeah. Yep. And then you had the I can't believe when you sent me the thing and I saw Prophy King G. I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, like I said, I made that page like a couple weeks ago, and I was literally thinking of names because I was like, I'm finna start hygiene school. I need like a little catchy name or something. I was going through names. I was like, man, all these really sound corny, but then I was like, I came across the page. I was like, oh, I guess I picked something that worked after all. You know what I'm saying?
So
Somebody else with the same idea.
yeah, how did you come to the name Prophy King G? Because first of all, a prophy is not a commonly used word that people would know.
Right. So the reason I thought of that name because I'm a dental assistant. So
Ah,
yeah, so I was already kind of aware of the terminology already. So I was like, I know a hygienist they usually use prophies though. So I was
yeah,
like, I might as well go ahead and adapt it.
yes. Oh man, that's going. So first of all, you didn't disclose that you're an assistant. So that's going to help you tremendously with your studies. I mean, you already are familiar with the mouth, right? You know all the teeth numbers.
Yeah, I got all the teeth numbers.
Oh man, see, when I came in, I didn't know nothing. So I looked at people in my class who had assisting backgrounds, and they excelled. They did really good, really fast. Um, so that just upped your level right there. Hygiene school is gonna be it's just gonna be more so about you keeping your grades up than anything, because you already know instruments. You might not know all the hygiene instruments, but I'm sure you're familiar with certain stuff and the positionings and all that stuff. So it's gonna be easy for you, man. Man, that's good. So what are you
So
nervous? What are you most nervous about? Or what's your next question?
To answer your question, honestly, just exams, really.
Mm,
I think that's what I feel like that's what everybody's usually most nervous about because you don't want to what I'm saying, get dismissed from class and all that stuff. So of course grades
right.
count, but you're really just exam, just making sure I pass each.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll give you one of the things that really, really helped me with my exams. So one, your communication and your relationships with your instructors are going to be important. Okay. Like build those relationships. Um, don't just kind of sit in the bag and just let stuff happen. Like be upfront. You know what I'm saying? Have a relationship. Talk to your instructors because those relationships help you through the program. Because these are the people who are giving you your grade. These are the people who are creating the tests, right? Um, so when you have tests that are coming up, usually instructors will give you study guides, right? When you do that study guide quickly, get it done, get all the stuff answered, find all the answers to the questions that are going to be on the test. And what I used to do, so that because I hate reading stuff over and over again, what I did was I would complete the study guide and I would use my phone to do a voiceover. So I would read the questions and then the answer in a voice note. So then, and you only have to do that one time. So now all I had to do was listen to it over and over again, you know, and that helped me a lot because then it starts to become like in your head, you almost start to just like the information is being embedded in your brain because when you hear the question, you already know what the answer is going to be because you done heard yourself say it over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that was like super golden for me when it came to taking tests. And that therefore I wouldn't have to like spend a whole lot of time reading, flipping through pages and highlighting stuff. Like I just focus on that study guide. Um, try not to also because I just seen that all the culture of dental hygiene um, cohorts is all the same. Like everybody goes through the same stuff. One of the things that I would say not to get sucked into is when you start to see the students starting to like pit themselves up against the instructors where it's like instructors versus students. Like don't get into that. Like be that mediator that makes sure that the class is handling things tactfully.
Yeah,
That's what that's
I'm literally the only guy in my class, so
Yep. So that role is going to be super important for you because that's how I was. Um, and just my natural instincts, especially coming from the military, is just I just have like a leader kind of like thing. Even if I'm just trying to chill, what I'm saying, it just kind of happens. But definitely being the only male in the class, you're gonna have to balance a lot of stuff out. You're gonna have to let the ladies know when they going in for no reason, they doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to let them know. Don't get sucked into it.
yeah.
Don't get sucked into it. But you'll be good.
So as far as employment, so do you still do the temp hygiene?
No, I don't practice anymore.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I work for a implant marketing company in business development now. And then I'm also an entrepreneur, so I have other businesses and of course, the YouTube channel and Prophy Kings. But what was your question about temp hygiene though? Because I did do that for a while.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, you covered a lot in your video, so I'm pretty sure like over time I'll go back and take more notes off your video. But like, so how do you find like agencies or is that what
Yeah,
they're called? Temp
yeah.
agency?
Yep. So there's temp agencies. There's also pages. Like I would look for YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook pages. Because here in Georgia we have one that's called Dental Hygiene Job Opportunities. If you just look up dental hygiene groups, on Facebook in your area, you might find a forum that people post on, like post jobs regularly. Because we have one here that I got a lot of, like it was so easy being a hygienist, there's so many opportunities to work because you got to think there's people who want off days, who might not have paid off days and things like that scheduled. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that stuff set up in the structure of their office. So, and then sometimes they also don't have the office might not have a pool of hygienists that they pull from. So sometimes you might have to find your own hygienist, to cover when you need time off or something like that. In my last office, that's what I did. So I went on our Facebook page, the dental hygiene job opportunities in Georgia Facebook page, and I'll just be like, looking for a hygienist to work, in Sandy Springs on this date from this time to this time. Inbox me. And then more than likely you got some hygienists who only temp, or they have an off day coming up on the day that you want off. You know what I'm saying? But they want to work. So they'll, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Then you have hygienists who go on maternity leave. So sometimes offices are looking for a hygienist to cover the whole maternity leave, right? Or just people who are going on vacation, some people who retire, some people who are in between looking to hire a full-time hygienist. So, but they still have patients coming in, so they need a temp hygienist. So there's always, you know what I'm saying? There's always a need out there.
Okay.
But
so would you recommend, like, would it be smart, because you covered that as well, to possibly like have a permanent part-time position in the office? That way you still have constant work in case those temp opportunities don't pop up, and then have temping by choice
yep,
on your off days.
absolutely. And I don't know if I went into that in my video. I might have, I'm not sure, but that's what I did when I initially started temping. And that's what made me feel comfortable, because I went from a full-time position to not being in the office, right? But there wasn't really a break, because at the same time, there was an office that I was temping for while I was working full-time. I used to just go to on Saturdays when they needed a Saturday hygienist. They were looking for a hygienist part-time to work on set days. And I was looking to leave the office that I was at. So it was perfect, because I had something where I was like, all right, at least I'll have somewhere to work 2 days out of the week. And then I'll just worry about the other 3 on my own, like finding them. And then when it comes to temping, the good thing is that most times you can get a higher wage for those days. So you can in actuality make a lot of money if you just temp full time.
Yeah, because I seen that's one of the things I picked up on that you mentioned, was pretty much, when you temp at an office, before you go, demand your set wage.
Yep. Yep. And then you can tell them what you want per hour, or you can tell them what you want for the day. So that's up to you how you wanna do it. I only had one office, and they actually told me, they were like, when they reached out to me, they said, we typically do a set wage. So we pay you, I think it was like, I can't remember what it was. It was between 250 and 300 that they paid for the day. So that's good in a sense, because you know what you're gonna make, right? And because in other circumstances, you might have an office that the day falls apart, right? Like you go to work, and then like all of the afternoon patients get canceled, or say for instance the doctor is like, oh, we got to close the office for the day, whatever happens, and you happen to be there for that day. So now you thought you was going to work a full day, and you just worked a half a day. So now you only get half that pay. But if you came and there was a day wage, right, you're going to get what they told you was going to get, no matter how many patients you see, no matter how many hours you worked, but you determine how you want to navigate that. I usually just told them what I wanted per hour.
What was the minimum that you would ask for that?
40.
40?
Yeah. But every area is different. I don't know what the pay rate is like in Texas.
Okay.
Oh, another big tip, man. Definitely find out what other hygienists are making where you are, or where you're gonna work. Because I don't know if you plan on staying in Texas, or if you plan on leaving Texas after you graduate? You plan on staying there?
Yeah, I like Texas. I feel like the market is good out here. If I
Yeah.
do leave, I wanted to get my license in either Georgia or California. So
Oh man, yeah. Um, yeah, California, they getting paid nice in Cali. Um, I think the average that hygienists are making in Cali is 50 an hour. So they have more uh, ability to do different procedures. So in California, you can actually do fillings and you can do anesthesia. Like you can actually numb your own patients. In Georgia,
yeah,
you
I don't
can't.
think you can do anesthesia in Texas.
Okay. Um,
So as far as getting licensed out of state, because I know they mentioned like most transfer over, but you'll have to like retake probably like a jurisprudence exam or something.
yeah, the
For that
jurisprudence
state.
exam is like it might be like 10 minutes long, 30 questions or something like that. You know, it's not a long test. But the information is the kind of information that you'll only remember like fresh out of school. Because it's like it's very specific in the way that they word things with jurisprudence. Um, but it's easy for you to study for it again, learn information, and then take it if you had to take it in another state.
Well, I think that's about all the questions I had. But I mean, I'll take more notes on any other advice you got though while we're on here. So I mean, I'll take your
Yeah.
advice.
Let me try to see what else I could tell you that's gonna benefit you right now. You know how to take X-rays?
No,
You don't know how to take X-rays?
I've taken in assistant school. We took some, but like we ain't get heavy into it. So
Mm-hmm.
like pretty much I know how to do them on a mannequin,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't transferred it over into like actual patients.
So hold on. So you're an assistant, but have you worked in the office yet?
No, I haven't because I graduated assistant school in December, but from January all the way till now, it was like just applying for hygiene schools and handling applications. So I could have worked, but it was like I was too focused on handling business
Mm-hmm.
and getting into school.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if anything, like I did a lot of observation hours. So I was in offices and they had me doing stuff. They had me, sterilizing and all that type of stuff, but I never really got to like actual well, as far as X-rays,
Got you.
I
Okay.
haven't got to do that on patients, but I was like actually assisting and doing everything else in offices.
Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah, I thought you had already been like working for like years doing assistant or something like that.
Oh no, no.
Um. So you essentially went the same route that I did. I just didn't finish assisting, but you finished assisting, and you actually kind of did a little work in the offices. Um, okay. Well, hopefully, I mean, you still were exposed to the dental environment, so that's going to be good. I'm trying to think. So the X-rays is something that you're gonna get good at it as a hygienist because you're gonna take a lot of X-rays on your patients. You're gonna
And oh
take
yeah, I think we have radiology in the fall, so
yeah, yeah, and I have some really good tips for you when you get into radiology. So make sure you hit me up and let me know once y'all start taking X-rays because I'll try to help you get really fast and taking those FMXs. So that way, that's the thing that what makes people hate taking the FMX, which is the full mouth series X-rays, is how long it takes. But when you learn how to do it quickly and move from one X-ray to the next X-ray really fast, and get the positioning like right every time, that's what makes you not so bothered by taking them because it's not gonna be a hindrance. So make sure you follow it with me when you get to that point.
I got you.
Um, I'm trying to think, man. The hard thing is that there's so much stuff that I want to tell you and prepare you for, but it's like I don't know. I'm trying to be very specific about what information I give you that's going to help you directly now. Because if I give you stuff that's going to help you later, it's not going to help you now, so you're not going to remember. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to think of what you need to know now. Starting your program, going into anatomy and embryology. I don't know, man. I guess I would say, as far as anatomy and embryology, these are all of this coursework is going to be the foundation of you understanding how the body works. Okay. As a hygienist, that's very important. You will be a very knowledgeable provider by the time you're finished. And what I'm trying to tell you is that this is the foundation. So make sure that you retain this information and you understand everything, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Always ask questions so that you understand why. Like, why this, why that, you know what I mean? Because it'll tie everything together later on when you start taking pharmacology and you're learning about medications and high blood pressure, depression, and schizophrenia, and bipolar disorders, and why like people, the medication that they take and how it affects the mouth and how that in turn affects the body. Yeah, man, I don't think there's too much more unless you got some questions. I just
Yeah, my last question I probably ask, okay, so studying wise, because mind you, of course, you have multiple classes you're taking at once. So how did you divide up studying between each class every day? Like time wise, how much on average did you study for each class a day? Which I know that varies for everybody, but
yeah. So for me, I don't know how your classes are run. We were only taking two classes at a time. Um, and it sounds like yours is similar.
yeah, like we're taking two this summer. I believe fall we have three, but this summer we're taking two. But well, I ain't gonna say we're coming in for lab exams, but right as of right now, they're still online
Mhm.
because I guess everything is starting to transition back to normal from the virus. So we'll be having like video lectures and stuff that we can pretty much like watch repeatedly as much as we want and all that stuff. So
Yeah. So what I would say as far as dividing up your time is, I mean, there's general guidelines that I feel like most people should just use regularly, even not being in school, and that is blocking out time to schedule. I mean, to work on certain things. So you have use a calendar. A lot of people use calendars when we're in hygiene school for studying, because you need to know what time I have clinic, how much time I have in between classes. If you need to study or look at stuff or try to finish your homework before class start or whatever you got to do, you want to know how your schedule looks. So I would say, to answer that question, start using a calendar if you're not already using a calendar, and plan your days. It's going to make things so much easier, especially once you start getting into the thick of having classes and clinic at the same time. Um, so that way you can manage your time. And then, are you going to be working while
I'm
you're in school?
not gonna be working at all.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That's so good. It's so good. Um, so yeah, so you have a lot of time to really just school, gym, school, clinic. You'll have a lot of time to do that. Just use a calendar to schedule everything and balance stuff out.
Yeah, that's about it I got for today. But I'll go ahead and schedule for next weekend. That way I can get back with you and let you know how the first week went and everything. So
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. So how was this? How was everything for you? Did I answer everything that you need to answer?
oh yeah, this was great. This was great. I told my mom I was meeting with you today. She was like, "Is he charging?" I was like, "Nah, mom. Like it's all free. Like you know what I'm saying. It's all love." So because
Yeah,
you know how that stuff go. But
yeah. What was she was concerned. She was like, "He charging? Is he charging you?"
yeah, so
That's funny. Yeah. Nah, man, this is all free. This is for you, man. This is for y'all, because I know what it was like, what I'm saying, being in hygiene school and needing support, all the doubt that I had, being a, a, a male in a female dominated career field, and just walking into the program. The director was a female. Most of the assistants that were in the assistant program were females. The instructors are all females. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and then all the classmates were females. There were a few other guys in the program too, with me. So that helped, but we all had the same doubts. You know what I'm saying? We were all in hygiene school. We didn't have I didn't have a male hygienist that I knew that was in the field already working. You know what I'm saying? That had already been through this course. So, you know, I just want Prophy Kings to be that for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Be
that's
that.
why that's the one thing I probably say that all those factors you mentioned pretty much is like why I love the platform, because honestly, I have not seen one dental hygiene platform for males at all, like anywhere. It don't matter where you look on Instagram, Facebook. So when I came across that, I was like, finally,
Mm-hmm.
finally, because usually it's like dentists.
Yep. Yep.
There ain't one there. I don't even think there's one for assistants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For
Prophy
males.
Kings. Prophy Kings is supports assistance too.
So
I try to push that
yeah,
where it's
so
for
it's like,
assistance and male hygienists.
so I'm actually very glad to see that, because I feel like it's gonna make more men, you know what I'm saying, more comfortable. It's giving all of us a platform to come to, like we have our own space.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I value all your questions. And I'm super excited to help you on this journey to getting that RDH behind your last name, getting that white coat, right? So I look forward to you joining the Prophy Kings fraternity and just being a continued member that is receiving and serving within the community.
For sure. I appreciate you, bro. I'll definitely be here next weekend and chat it up.
Yes, sir.